Hey folks, FatGuyFliesRC, and I know I fly the little 1220 Ranger all the time on the channel, but today what I'm featuring is suspension gear. Now, you can get the Ranger from Hobby Zone or from FMS or wherever you prefer to buy it from. There'll be a link for both in the description of the video, but I'm also going to put links. You know, y'all know I'm not really big on modding and I don't ever endorse modding as far as like a major mod like I did with the Aero Scout. As far as my lights and all that, because that I'm cutting into foam. But I do endorse any mod that's a simple bolt-on mod that you could reverse it with no problem. And this mod, and like the K and additive EDF things on the Aero Scout, those are bolt-on. You can take them right back and put your plane right back the way it was. This kind of modding, literally, this kit comes, you remove that plate, take the plate out, save those 2 bolts, or you can use the bolts provided. You assemble this gear, it bolts together, 2 bolts hold it in, each of these bolt into their brace, and then the whole thing bolts right in the same spot that you took the bracket out. To put the nose gear in, you just go in there, well, I can't really show you now, take the battery out obviously, but there's a piece of Velcro covering the center. Remove that piece of Velcro and you'll see your steering arm. Just one Phillips head screwdriver, pull that screw out, your stock gear will fall out, and it has a flat spot on it. And then don't worry about that screw that was in there, because the gear itself comes with a new metal screw. Remove that metal screw, slide this in, the flat spot in the right, it just slides right in where you had the old one, and then take that screw they gave you and put that right in where you just removed that last screw. Then put you another piece of Velcro in there, and then it literally bolts in. I could, in 5-10 minutes, I could put the stock gear back on. You would never even know. So those type of mods are simple bolt-on. I definitely endorse them because you're not changing anything. You're just like adding floats and taking them right back off again. Those kind of mods I really like, but this should help us, and it makes the plane sit a little bit higher off the ground. But because the Achilles heel on this particular plane, which also was a strength, is that front nose gear was so stiff, but also would dip in whenever you try to take off. So this is a little bit higher, and I'm hoping that it will allow us to take off in this rough grass. In fact, let's go out to this rough grass and see if we can do it. It might work, it might not, but it's definitely going to be better than the stock. All right, you can see the wheels are almost disappearing.
Motor is armed. Be careful.
Now, if anybody has owned this Ranger knows that this would be impossible. Yeah, and it might be impossible now. We'll see. This is very thick, nasty crabgrass we have here. But we'll give it a shot. Well, isn't that embarrassing? I don't think any amount of gear would let this thing a little bit denser here, maybe over here. We'll see. Nope. Okay. Still got suspension gear. Hey, this is what happens when you try something live and unedited, you know, but still cool. But I'm not going to edit that out, and I'm going to show you. I didn't notice it adding any weight to the plane. Across in front. Just to let you know, the receiver I'm using is an AR620.
Remaining 6 minutes.
Boy, I feel stupid now. Hey, let's take it out in the grass. This is a cause that cures that problem. Well, no, it didn't. But still, y'all, if y'all decide to get this, it's still better. No matter what, it's better. I definitely think it's worth the mod. I'll put links to the purchase of this gear in the description of the video. First time landing on this gear. You can see it does sit up a little bit higher. If you watch Stefan RC, his video, he's the one that put me onto this nose gear. And while I was at the site, at the RC Castles, by the way, is where you get it. It comes from, of course, China. And a little bit of a knife edge here. But I went to use his link to find the nose gear, and while I was there, it also had offered this main. And I want to say with shipping was about 50 bucks. I like it.
Time remaining 5 minutes.
But then again, in the gear's defense, this is not, our grass is not trimmed for a runway. A lot of you guys have grass fields, you have a runway, a grass runway that's trimmed for that and cut for that. Ours is not, because we have a regular runway. We don't need to maintain the grass that short. So hey, I guarantee you that probably would have tipped that plane over, had been the old gear. And just so you know, I've got a 2700 3S in there, so a big heavy 3S because of the wind. Up, there we go.
Prop is secured.
But no matter how well designed gear is or what you got, you can't outdo physics. Physics are physics. So, but you can always hand launch it. Can always hand launch it. I know.
Remaining 4 minutes.
Weather vane to the wind there. Yeah. I feel like Bill Gates right now, whenever he did his world debut of Windows 98 back, I don't know if anybody ever watched that. He did that live, and he debuted Windows 98, and what did he get? He got the blue screen of death on live TV. So, you know, he recovered, so I guess I can recover this gear not working the way it was supposed to. All right, go ahead and end the flight. And just so you know, this particular Ranger here is mine. This one wasn't sent to me, so I didn't mind putting this one I bought with my own money, and because I love these little Rangers. And I'm thinking about buying that green one, just so I've got all three colors, just because I love I can't decide which I like more, the yellow, the green, or the red. So, and the red one Hobby Zone sent me. But I do agree. I do think that gear is worth it. Except for that. But that's strictly my fault. If you can't, you have to be able to read the wind. You have to be able to read your surroundings. You're the pilot. You're responsible for how this thing behaves. I know I've got a nasty cross breeze right now. This thing only weighs a couple of pounds. I tried turning too soon in a light little plane that sits up high with a crosswind. That's clearly my fault. Now let me show you something. So I'm not, people, I had one viewer gave me a comment and said, there's always an excuse, never pilot error. I'm like, well, no, I do accept the pilot error. I'm just saying what I failed to read. But see, I know I got wind, so I should not be trying to turn this plane any faster than that right there. Because otherwise, the more speed you got, the less pressure you have on the earth, therefore the less control you have. And this kind of wind, you shouldn't be trying to turn on the runway any faster than that right there.
Prop is secured.
Okay, my estimation on the gear, if you still got nice short air RC runway trimmed style runway, then the gear is great, because that other gear would dip down and you need to have pavement or geotech to have successful landings and takeoffs. This gear would be great for that type of a grass runway. This kind of stuff, we got nasty thick crabgrass that's not being cut for a runway. I don't care how good the gear is. I mean, unless you've got great big old blue Tundra tires up front, this is what's going to happen. So I think this is worth the upgrade. It looks cool, and it does kind of help with those landings a little bit too. Kind of make your landing look a little bit better than it actually is. Now we still had 2 minutes and 54 seconds, but we got other planes to fly, and I definitely think that was a good test of the gear. It's a nice little plane, 2700. Oh, and that's the other thing. You know how much I preach lipo care about, maintaining your batteries to keep them discharged when you don't use them. I want to show you this battery. This battery I'm going to show you is over 6 years old. Couldn't tell you how many. So I got 5 of these things. Couldn't tell you how many flights this battery has on it. It's got I guarantee you, hundreds of flights on it. And it still performs really, really well. It's a Hobby Star 2700 with a 35C. It's been discontinued for years. But if you take good care of your batteries, keep them discharged when you don't use them, still got 58% left. If you take good care of your batteries, which if you're in this hobby long enough, you'll realize, oh, my Velcro didn't stick. If you're in this hobby long enough, you'll realize this is your biggest expense with electric RC planes, is your batteries, because it's an ongoing purchase. You're only going to get so many life charge cycles out of a battery, and if you don't discharge them, you don't keep them at storage rate when you're not using them, you're taking life off that battery. And you're wondering, why is my battery puffy? Why is my battery not performing the way it is? Well, because you don't take good care of your lipos. You got to buy a quality lipo in the first place, which these Hobby Star are good quality batteries, but it's also about lipo care. That's the biggest thing, is lipo care when it comes to batteries and longevity. And I'm sorry, but they're expensive. Well, there you go. 100% throws, 40% expo, all the way around. That's why I fly in with these things. And I flew in the optimized mode, which is their wind mitigation, or like AS3X. Great little plane. Pick it up at Hobby Zone, pick it up at FMS, and these gear, I'll put a link in there, and you can, if you want to go to RC Castle and pick them up. Takes you about 2.5 weeks to get in from the day you order it, just to let you know. All right, God bless y'all. Gabriel, thank you for filming. God bless y'all. God is good. And folks, let's keep them in the air. We'll see you out there. Bye-bye.